Yeah. So, I don't know if you're taking questions yet. Are you ready for a question?
Yeah.
It's on extra practice number 1, and it's question 6.
Okay. Extra practice number 1, question 6.
Yes.
Okay. Love it. Okay. So remember, there are 8 drams in 30 milliliters, right? So on that whole long thing, the 30 milliliters, 1 ounce, blah, 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 there's 8 drams. So if you have, hang on, I want to give you a visual, if I can find one. Yeah, well.
Oh, yeah, that would help them.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Still Cedar, right, though? Okay.
Hey, Nicole,
Yeah.
do you have a one of those medicine cups that has the 30 mLs?
Yes.
Okay.
Mary went to get it.
Normally on those, it'll have 8 drams.
Okay.
So that's just to give you an idea.
Yeah.
So basically, what you need to do is you need to figure out how many drams, and then you have to convert that to milliliters. So the way that I do it, hang on, I'm trying to finagle so y'all can see this. So the question is, you have 15.
Yeah.
So the doctor wants 15 milligrams. You have 5 milligrams per 1 dram, right? Is that backwards for y'all?
No, we're good.
Okay. Because when I'm looking at it, it's backwards for me. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. So that's times 1. So the answer is 3 drams, right? Okay. So that's how much you're going to give. But it's not asking that. It's asking how many milliliters. So there's our order. 3 drams, okay? So you know that there are 8 drams in 30 milliliters, because you have to remember that, right? So in 3 drams, how many milliliters? So then you cross multiply. So 8 times x is, yeah, you can say that, is 8x.
I like the video.
30 times 3 is 90. Because remember, you have to cross multiply. So 90, well, 90 divided by 8 is 11.25. That's how many milliliters you're going to give. So basically, you've got to read the whole question, or you'll get it wrong. Any questions on that one?
No questions? Okay.
Okay.
I think they're good on that one.
All right.
31.
They're saying number 31.
On extra practice 1?
Yes.
Okay, so here's another one. So your dose is 10 milligrams. And you have 5 milligrams per 1 dram. So 10 divided by 5 is 2, times 1 is 2 drams. Okay? So that's what we're trying to get to, because it's asking for milliliters. All right? So again, you know that 8 drams is 30 milliliters. So 2 drams is how many milliliters? Okay? You cross multiply. So 8x equals 30 times 2 is 60. So you isolate your x by dividing by 8. So x equals 7.5 milliliters.
Questions on that one?
22 on practice one. That's what somebody wanted.
All right, let me see if I can make this sound go up. That's not what I mean. Okay, what's the next one?
Number 22 on the same practice one.
Okay. Okay, so these are drops per minute. So you know that you have, with drops per minute, you know you have to have milliliters and you have to have minutes, okay? Did you say 21?
22.
22?
Yes.
All right, hang on. All right, so you have to do your volume over time, okay? And your volume has to be in milliliters and your time has to be in minutes. If you don't do it that way, it's not ever going to work, okay? And then times your drops per milliliter. All right, so let's plug in the numbers that we know. So there's 1,000 milliliters. And it has to be infused over, okay, never mind. I just read it. Okay, so instead of using the 1,000, you've already got how much the doctor wants to go in, which is 125 milliliters per hour, okay? So that's kind of used to screw you up a little bit, like a total of 1,000, but it's going to go in at 125 milliliters per hour. So 125 milliliters. How many minutes are in an hour? 60. And then 60 drops per milliliter. So 125 divided by 60 is 2.83333 times 60, and that's 125. So it's 125 drops per minute.
Like I counted.
Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah. That's coming up for you another question, Dave. Number 25 on the same practice. Number 25 on the same one.
Okay. So again, that 500 milliliters and that 500 milligrams is just used to throw you off. Okay. You don't even have to worry about that. You know that the doctor wants 150 milliliters per hour. You need to know the drops per minute. So V over T times your drops per milliliter. So you have 150 milliliters over 60 minutes times 20 drops. So 150 divided by 60 equals 2.5 times 20 equals 50. So it's going to be 50 drops per minute. I think, and even here on the Walker County campus, I think when people start getting confused is when, like, you see 125 milliliters per hour. Like, sometimes for some reason y'all want to convert that to minutes. The only time you convert that to minutes is when I'm asking you for drops. But if I'm asking you milliliters per hour, all you have to do is divide the milliliters by how many hours. That's your answer.
Number 23 on the same practice.
Okay. All right, so you have 100 milliliters. So V over T times your drops. So you have 100 milliliters. And that 2 grams of Keflin, you don't even need to worry about that. So 100 milliliters in 1 hour, so that's 60 minutes, times 15 drops per milliliter. So 100 divided by 60 is 1.666666 times 15, which is 25. So it's 25 drops per minute.
Question number 35.
Number 35 on the same practice.
Okay. Okay. So what you have to do here is you have to convert pounds to kilograms. To convert pounds to kilograms, you take the pounds, which is 110, and you divide it by 2.2. And that, so the patient is 50 kilograms. Okay. So the order is for 30 milligrams per kilogram. So you have to multiply 30 times 50, which is 1,500. So now you know what the dose is. This is your dose, 1,500 milligrams. Okay. So then what you have, so do your dose over hand and your volume. So your dose is 1,500 milligrams, and you have 500 milligram tablets. So 1,500 divided by 500 times 1 is 3. So the answer is 3 tabs.
On the same one. Number 39 on that same practice.
39.
39,
Okay. I'm just going to tell y'all that I hate fractions. All right. I hate them with a passion. So what I do is when it's a fraction, I divide it. Okay. So your order is 1/6. You said 39, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So your order is 1/6 of a grain. GR is grain. So I put 1 divided by 6 equals that much, okay? That's how much grains that you need to give this patient. So with that being said, hang on, we have to convert it to milligrams, all right? So we know that there's 1 grain in 60 milligrams, okay? And you have 0.166666 repeating grains divided by, and we're trying to figure out what the milligram is, okay? So you cross multiply again. So X equals, so keep that in your calculator, times 60, 10. So you're going to give 10 milliliters. I'm sorry. Hang on. Back up. I converted it, okay? So that's how many grams are in, or grains that are in 1/6 of a milligram, okay? But we converted that to milligrams, all right? So it's 10 milligrams is your order. 30 milligrams is what you have on hand per milliliter. So 10 divided by 30 is 0.3 milliliters.
So you can tell her she went ahead and rounded up on all that, even though you were supposed to, like in the, cause I come up 9.999, but she said 10.
So you rounded up from 9.999 to 10? That's what they're asking.
Yeah, okay, so
Even though it's the same range.
so basically, look, so in my calculator, I do 1 divided by 6, okay? So that's how much is in my calculator. And I leave it alone, okay? So then I times that by 60, and that makes it 10 milligrams, okay? When I times it by 60, it came up to 10. Okay. So then I know that 1/6 of a grain is 10 milligrams. And that's the order.
Can you ask her, like on that problem, I got 0.333 repeating, but she just said that it's 0.3. So on the next, we split 0.3 repeating or just 0.3.
That's my question.
The answer is 0.3, they get 0.333, so drop and just have 0.3 is what they're asking.
Do we keep the repeated numbers or just the?
Okay, so normally I would say to to give me to the nearest tenth. So, but this literally works out if you divide 10 divided by 30. Oh, 10 divided by 30. Okay, yes, so 0.3. You could, if I say give me round to the nearest tenth, then I would say 0.3. If I say round to the nearest hundredth, I would say 0.33. Because you remember the first number, if you round to the tenth, it's one number after the decimal. If you round to the hundredth, it's two numbers after the decimal.
So if the question don't specify, they want to know how you would know which one to put.
If you give me 0.3, I'm fine. If you want to give me 0.753s, I'm good with that too.
She don't specify, just put all three. Does she want us to put like email or don't come in or all that on the test?
You want them to put the measurement too, like milliliters or or drops or whatever. You want them to put that abbreviation like 0.3 ml, right?
It don't matter.
Did you ask the question 46?
Number 46 on the same one. Number 46.
Okay.
What I did most of the time when I was in school, I would go ahead and put both. If you had like 0.333, I'd put that and then or rounded 0.3. But it's just don't accept either one.
Okay. So when you're dealing with ounces, what you have to do, you know that there's 16 ounces in a pound, okay? So this 8 ounces, and this is how I do it. 8 over 16, okay? It's a fraction that I hate, so guess what I'm going to do? 8 divided by 16, 0.5. So 8 ounces is 0.5 pounds. Okay? All right. So we know it's 0.5 pounds. So a 20-pound 8 ounce, so a 20.5 pound kid is to receive Cosmogen 20 micrograms per kilogram of body weight. Okay. You have to convert from pound to kilograms. To do that, you divide it by 2.2. All right. So 20.5 divided by 2.2, and that's 9 blah 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 blah. Okay. Leave it in your calculator just like that. Now, the order says that the doctor wants the child to receive Cosmogen 20 micrograms per kilogram. So you take that number and you times it by 20. The answer is 186.3636 da 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 da. So basically, it's 186.4 if I told you to round it to the nearest 10. And if I said round it to the nearest hundredth, it'd be 196 milligrams.
Yeah, you got a different answer. You multiply the 20.5 by the 20. She did not divide it.
And you got 410 on the answer.
So that's a pound. Yeah, she needs to convert it.
Yeah, 20.5 pounds. That's what they're confused about. Divided by
No, she
2.2.
got the answer as 410 micrograms, and that's what was confusing me. But she just worked it out and got 186.
Said 410 on the answer sheet.
Because I just figured the 20.5
Because that's probably an error on my part.
Okay. Look, it said. Can we do number 50?
Number 50.
So is the answer that or is it the 410?
It's 186.
Well, sugar, hang on.
What'd you say, number 50?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what you have ordered is 40 milliequivalents per kilogram of body weight. Your client weighs 8 pounds, 6 ounces. How many milliequivalents should you give? So again, you have to go by, there's 1 pound and 16 ounces. So 6 ounces over 16. And you divide. So 6 divided by 16 is 0.375. So the order is, so that's how many ounces? 0.375. So plus 8, and that's how many pounds. So the kid is 8.375 pounds. All right. But you have to figure out the kilograms. So you divide that by 2.2. So 8.375 divided by 2.2 is 3.806,818,1818. Okay. So that's how many kilograms this kid is. And the doctor wants per kilogram 40 milliequivalents. So you multiply that by 40 and you get 152.272727.
The answer sheet said that it was 335.
Are y'all on the right answer sheet?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, well hey, I'm not perfect. What number is that?
50.
What was the other number? 40,
46.
46.
Yeah, look. Which one?
I can't hear y'all at all.
Just tell all she done on those. Forgot to convert. You forgot to convert to kilograms?
Yeah,
On
on
it.
the answer.
On the answer sheet, if you forgot to convert to kilograms, that's the reason it's off.
Okay. I'll fix it. But y'all, for real, like, I ain't perfect, and I can assure you I make mistakes.
Well, okay.
What's another one?
Anybody else got one?
Oh.
Wait, what was the answer to 50?
On practice number 3.
152.
It was, no, I think it was
Practice
Oh,
number
it's
3.
practice
Off the page.
it was the ounces, you gotta calculate all the ounces. then
40.
set them.
Number,
Yeah. Extra practice 4. Yeah, that.
when you're assuming 46 on practice number 3,
I think it's 4 practice.
where she assumed the cup is 6 ounces, you got the cost and all that.
Yeah, you gotta, all the 4 ounces, you gotta add them together. That's the practice number 3. It's not 4, I think it's 3. Yeah, 3. Yeah,
Y'all are gonna have to decipher this for me. I can't hear. I just hear a whole bunch of people talking.
It's 48.
48 on practice number 3. Yeah. 48 on practice number 3.
48.
Yes, on practice number 3.
Oh yeah, these are all messed up. I can assure you. Okay, so say assume a cup holds 6 ounces. Okay. But you have to calculate these in milliliters. So your first go round, so half a cup of coffee. So you know there's 1 ounce in 30 milliliters, right? So when it says half a cup of coffee, and assume a cup holds 6 ounces. So a half a cup would be 3 ounces. You know there's 1 ounce per 30 milliliters. So 3 times 30. So that very first one, the half a cup of coffee, is 90. All right. So there's 90 milliliters for the first one. 1 cup of applesauce. Are you going to add that?
No.
Huh?
No.
No, you're not.
No, not that.
Are you going to add a chicken salad sandwich?
No.
No. So how many cups are in a pint?
16.
2. Wait, that's 2.
2 cups.
That's 16 ounces in a pint.
2 cups.
And 1 cup is 8 ounces. That's 2 cups. Right?
16 ounce people, huh?
Yeah. 2 cups.
So there's 2 cups in a pint. Okay. So it's a half a pint.
So it's 8 ounces.
8 ounces.
6 ounces.
Oh, because we're doing half.
Because we're assuming a cup holds 6 ounces.
But not in the pint.
She just, that's what she put on there. That's, we're supposed to go by what she put on here.
Okay.
You put on here.
I know, but a half pint.
We know, Miss Mary. Just her.
So 6 ounces. So 6 times 30 is 180 milliliters. So you would calculate the fluid intake in milliliters as 180 plus 90, 270. And you know what? These are the ones they've already brought attention to. Like, I don't even know where all this crap came from, but I did a lot of copy and paste in it, and I screwed it up somewhere. So the answer is 270 milliliters.
Number 49 on which one? Oh, the same one on number 49 too?
What?
The next one. The next one, number 49 on that same practice.
Okay. All right. So 3 ounces. So it says calculate the fluid intake in milliliters for the following food items. So 3 ounces of grape juice. 1 ounce is 30 milliliters. So 3 ounces. So 3 times 30 is 90 milliliters. The second thing, 6 ounces of broth. So 6 times 30 is 180. The third one is 9 ounces of coffee. So 9 times 30 is 270. And then 12 ounces times 30 is 360 milliliters. All right, so 360 milliliters plus 270 equals plus 180 equals plus 90. So that total intake is 900 milliliters.
What time can I leave?
You want to do mine? So 230? Number 40 on the same practice.
$40.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we are going from grains to grams. Okay. So X is 10, so 3X's is 30, right? So that's 30 grains. Well, we know that in 1 grain, there is 60 milligrams, correct? So there's 1 grain and 60 milligrams. That's our conversion factor. And you have 30 grains, but we're trying to figure out milligrams. We'll go to kilograms in a minute, but we're doing milligrams. So 1 times X is X. 60 times 30 is 1,800. All right, so that's how many milligrams. But we have to go to grams, right? So you know, going from milligrams to grams, you're going to have to do 1, 2, 3. So your answer is 1.8.
Ask her, is 41 a typo?
Is 41 a typo?
Because she had 0.005 and I thought it was 0.003.
Okay, so it's not a typo, and let me show you why. 0.3 milligrams, you're trying to get to grains, not grams, grains. All right? So 1 grain is 60 milligrams. You have 0.3 milligrams. And how many grains? So 60x, because you're cross multiplying, equals 0.3. Isolate your x by dividing it by 60. So 0.3 divided by 60 is 0.005.
Yeah, as long as you're doing
Put the X in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made a mistake.
What's next?
I got another one. 45 on number 3. Practice 3, number 45.
Okay. All right, what is our long thing that we go by?
1 ounce.
30 milliliters equals 1 ounce equals da-da-da-da-da-da equals 360 minims, grains, and drops.
That's 480.
It's 360 to 480. We go with 360.
Okay.
Always 360. Okay, so we know that there are 360 minims and 30 milliliters. That's your conversion factor. You have 36 minims, and you need to know how many milliliters. So 360x equals 30 times 36 equals 1080. Isolate the x. So 1080 divided by 360 is 3.
Yeah, 480, that's on the list. There's 360.
Yeah.
Not 480.
There was a question how you got to 360, but she said it was on the list.
Right, let me repeat it. I'm asking, how did she get it? If 360 is that on this part, it is rain. How do we know that him? It's him, right?
It's not written like that on the sheet, but it's for offering.
Minims and
So it's rain, him,
It drops.
Okay.
she's confused because grains, minims, and drops is the same number.
Okay.
The three they have to prove. Anybody else?
I don't know, 59 on.
Can you go to practice number 2, number 69 on practice number 2?
You said 69?
Uh-huh. On practice number 2.
Okay. So in Roman numerals, I means what? What does SS mean? Half? Okay. So 1.5 ounces. And we're trying to get to milliliters. All right. So we know that there's 1 ounce and 30 milliliters. So X equals, I think it's 45, but I just always have to use my calculator. 45.
It's wrong on the sheet.
Yeah.
We all got 45.
Is that another one I messed up?
It
Yes.
says 90 on the, answer sheet.
This is extra practice 2,
Yeah.
number 69. Okay. I do so much math, my numbers sometimes run together along with everything else.
Number 12 on that same practice.
Number 12 on the same practice.
Okay. So the order is 15 milliequivalents. What you have on hand is 5. Wait. Sorry, times 8. Milliliters. Okay. So 15 divided by 5 is 3 times 8. That's ridiculous that I'm having to put this in my. Is 24. Okay. So that's 24 milliliters. It's not asking you for milliliters, it's asking you for drams. Okay. So you know that there are 30 milliliters in 8 drams. So we're trying to find out how many drams. So 30x, can y'all see that?
Yeah.
I'll go over here. So 30x equals 24 times 8, which is 192. Isolate the x by dividing by 30, and x equals 6.4 drams.
You gotta do 46 on, practice. Number 46 on practice 3. I thought she did that one already.
Yeah, she did that. She did that.
Yeah, I did that one.
Well, 47. Number 47 on practice 3.
Okay. So again, we're looking for milliliters. So assume a soup bowl holds 6 ounces. So 1 bowl of tomato soup. So that's 6 ounces times 30 is 180. So there's 180 milliliters in that one. 1 lime Jello cup. So it says a Jello cup holds 5 ounces. So 5 times 30 is 150 milliliters. A quarter of a quart of iced tea. So how many ounces are in, or how, hang on. So there's 32 ounces in 1 quart, okay? So if you do 1 divided by 4, 0.25 times 32, that gives you 8 ounces, okay? So 8 ounces times 30 milliliters is 240 milliliters. And then a half a glass of water. If a glass holds 8 ounces, half a glass would be 4 ounces. So 4 times 30 is 120. So 120 plus 240 plus 150 plus 180 is 690. And I probably have to change all those because I don't know where those A, B, C, D come from. Okay.
You back? Question. Everybody else got one? Do what? 24 on the same practice 3. 24 on practice 3. Sometimes they're too easy. Okay.
Practice 3. 24.
On practice 3.
Okay. So you have 360 drops. And we're trying to get to however many teaspoons. So 360 drops per your line is 6 teaspoons. So if you cross multiply, so 360x equals 6 times 360. It's 2,160. Isolate your x. And your answer is 6 teaspoons.
Anybody else got one? Number 21 on practice 3.
Okay. So 3/4 of a teaspoon is how many drops? All right. 3/4 of a teaspoon is 0.75. Hang on. 3 divided by 7. 3 divided by 4. Yeah, 0.75. So 0.75 teaspoons is in how many drops? So our conversion factor, we know there's 360 drops in 6 teaspoons. Remember from that long line? So 6x equals 360 times 0.75. So that's 270. Isolate your x. $45. Drops. Did y'all even say that? Oh yeah, you did. Okay.
Anybody else got one that's giving us trouble? What did you say?
Huh?
You don't know which one?
39.
39? What?
On 3.
39 on practice 3.
Okay. So 1/100th grain is how many milligrams? So we know that 1 grain is 60 milligrams. That's our conversion factor. And we have 1/100, which y'all know what I do. 1 divided by 100, and that gives you 0.01. 0.01 grains. And how many milligrams? So 1 times x is x. 60 times 0.01 is 0.6. Are they okay? Dave, they okay? Next.
That all? Anybody else got one that's giving him trouble? Speak up, Hawkins. Zooming. They're trying to find it, I think, through all the papers. 50 on number 3. Didn't you do that one earlier? 50 on what practice? 50 on practice 3. I thought she'd already done that.
I did. No, I didn't. No, I didn't do number 3. No, I didn't do 50. Okay. That's 3. Okay, so how much IV fluid would you document as fluid intake if 350 milliliters is left in a 1,000 milliliter IV bag? So if there's 350 milliliters left, you would do 1,000 minus 350, which is 650. So that's how much the patient got, 650 milliliters.
Anybody else got an IV question? Because sometimes you get confused on them, especially on your rate. Always look at your drop factor. Because it might be a 60 milliliter, it might be a 15 drop per minute milliliter, it might be a 20 drop per milliliter. It's always good to check. Which number? 53. 53 on practice 3. Number 53 on practice 3.
Okay. Average hourly urinary output. Okay, so basically what it's saying is compute the average hourly urinary output if the total output of 720 milliliters is in 8 hours. So you literally divide 720 milliliters by 8 hours. So on average, they put out 90 milliliters per hour.
Anybody else got one?
I have one on the practice problems and questions for 85% exam paper.
Okay.
It doesn't have a number, but it's the one that's Dilaudid 50 milligrams by mouth twice a day, available Dilaudid 0.5 micrograms.
Yeah. I gotta get there. Okay, you said it is under Unit 3, 85% review.
Yes.
And you said it's what number?
There's not a number on here, but it's the one that says Dilaudid. It's like the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one from the bottom.
Dilantin?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that was the one that I screwed up. Okay, so you either need to convert it to milligrams or micrograms, okay? So I usually go to milligrams just because that's the norm. So your order is 50 milligrams. What you have on hand is 0.5 micrograms, okay? So going from micrograms to milligrams, you move your decimal places, your decimals 3 places. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And then times 1 milliliter. So 50 divided by 0.0005 equals 100,000. Am I right?
That's what I got, but I don't know who's given 100,000 milliliters or something.
It's 100,000.
Okay, cool.
Which, I mean, truth. But that's good that you recognize that, because you're not going to give that. But there are going to be questions that you're going to be like, that can't be. I mean, nobody's going to give 10 tablets. No, sometimes we do. Or nobody's going to give 100 tablets. It might happen. You got to give what you got to give. So know how to do your math, though. So it's 100,000.
What is that? Celsius to Fahrenheit? Could you do it?
Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Which numbers are those? Oh. The very last question on that same review for the 85%, I believe.
Okay, so Miss Ramey is really good at this.
It's been a minute. What's that word, 160?
Hang on,
You gotta show me it.
hang on.
Give him that little video.
I did give them that little video,
Oh.
but I can't remember. So it's not on that. Okay, so it's,
Cats have 9 lives.
so 5
Fingers.
fingers equals 9 cats plus 160.
Yes. Is that right? Is that what y'all wrote down? If y'all can tell me this, I can mark it. I ain't seen this in 2 years. She doesn't call me out.
Hang on.
Is that the formula on your sheets?
Yeah.
In that video? Yes. Okay. So then what you would do,
They have these 2 questions right here. I've got to pull them up.
oh, 99.6. Okay. So 99.6 Fahrenheit. So you're going to algebra here, basically. So I'm filling that 99.6 in there because that's the F, right? So that's why I'm putting that there. I'm leaving this the same, plus 160. Okay, so now the first thing we want to do is get rid of this. Lord help. Let's add that up. Y'all gotta, where's her calculator? That's right. I ain't done this in a minute. I'm trying to.
498.
Yeah, 160. And then we're gonna do minus 160 on each side, because you got, if you do it on one side of the equal sign, you gotta do it on the other, right? So that's gonna leave us with 9C over here. And then 498 minus 160 is 338. And now all we've got to do is get rid of this C. So you have to do on one side what you do on the other. And 338 divided by 9 is what? 37.55. I don't know how far out she wants you to go. But that equals C. Just always remember you want to start with whatever it gives you. If it gives you the Fahrenheit, then that number goes with the F. If they give you Celsius, fill that in with the C. Fill it in with whatever information she has given you and start there. You know, just like as we did in algebra, you want to make sure you work your parentheses first. That always comes first. And then whatever you do on one side of the equal sign, you have to do on the other. They have to match.
Same formula, but we can just fill it in, like.
Plug in for itself.
Oh,
If the other one,
I think that's easier like that.
you wanted to work the one that's often where you convert Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's all that.
I want you to do the one converting to Celsius.
The
Celsius to
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Which is what, is that the last question on there? The last question, I want you to do that one where you're converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Okay. Oh, well, I shouldn't have erased her formula because it stays the same. 5 fingers plus equals 9 cats, 160 plus 160. So that's the same no matter what, right? You never do away with that. So now we got 39 Celsius. So we're going to put that in the place of our C. You always work your parentheses first, no matter what. So you got 351 there. I'm just bringing everything else over. So I'm going to work. So 351 plus 160 is 511. Now I got to get rid of that 5 in front of my F, right? So to do that, I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So I'm just left with F over here. So 102.2. Again, parentheses first, put it in. If it's a C, put it there. If it's an F, put it there. Always work your parentheses first, and then whatever you add or take away or divide from one side, you must do to the other. And that'll always leave you with your answer.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Okay, Miss Citizen. No, you don't. Those two are done. Did you put those in this paper? I did.
I hate to see you.
No, I'm gonna tell him what you did to me. Okay.
Anybody else got one? Would you do the Robitussin one on the 85% exam?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
The Robitussin one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so your order is 20. I can't write with this. Your order is 25 milligrams. What you have on hand is 100 milligrams times 5 milliliters, right? Yeah. So 25 divided by 100 is 0.25 times 5 is 1.25.
Now, if it said so-and-so and so many divided doses, it would. But that's just a one-time order. That confuses, how would you know where to divide it on out or not? Depends on whether or not it's per dose or it's telling you it's given in 20.
The only reason you would do it every 4 hours, like if I told you in a total 24-hour period, how many milligrams would this patient have? Other than that, don't worry about your Q4. Don't worry about your twice a day. Don't do it. Mess you up. The only reason I put those in is because I want y'all to get used to reading these orders. Because very shortly y'all will be reading these orders.
Anybody else got one that's trying to confuse and see while she's still available? Think you're totally okay now?
Earlier. If anybody would like to go down there and look.
Could you do number 40 on extra practice 2? Number 40 on extra practice 2.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so the perfect situation, just like we were talking about, okay? So the question says a client is to receive 0.2 milliliters per kilogram of a drug every 2 hours. The client weighs 110 pounds. How many milliliters of the drug will the client receive in 24 hours? So this is where you have to notice those 2 hours, okay? So first we gotta convert pounds to kilograms. It's 110 pounds. So 110 divided by 2.2 is 50. So there's 50 kilograms. All right, so they're gonna get 0.2 milliliters per kilogram of body weight, okay? So 50 kilograms times 0.2. So they're gonna get 10 milligrams every 2 hours. Okay? So every 2 hours, they're going to get 10 milligrams. I mean, 10 milliliters. Okay? So that's every 2 hours. So you have to times this by 12 because they're going to have 12 doses in 24 hours, correct? So times 12 equals, they're going to get 120 milliliters.
Well, every 2 hours, in 24 hours, there's 12 2-hour increments.
Yep. So 120 milliliters.
On that one, on the answer sheet, you put 10 milliliters. That's why I thought that I got it wrong.
I can,
It's got 10 milliliters. The answer sheet's got 10 milliliters.
oh, is that what the answer sheet says?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll fix that.
It's 24 hours.
It'll be 10 milliliters every 2 hours, but 120 every 24 hours. Anybody else got one?
Can you do number 10 on practice 5?
Okay. So the doctor's order is penicillin V potassium, 1 teaspoon 4 times a day for 10 days. What you have available is a 10-gram bottle of penicillin V potassium oral suspension with the following instructions. Add 117 milliliters of water to yield 200 milliliters of oral solution. Each teaspoon will contain how much? Okay. So basically this, so 117 milliliters does not matter. Okay. But in the bottle, the concentration is going to be 10 grams per 200 milliliters. Okay. All right. I have to think about this. So if there's 10 grams and 200 milliliters, so there's 10 grams and 200 milliliters. Okay, so basically, we need to figure out how many milligrams are in a teaspoon. Okay, so let's just say this. So there's 100, or there's 10 grams. So 1, 2, 3. So there's 10,000 milligrams in 200 milliliters. Okay. So then, so we know that, all right? So really, we have to figure out how many milligrams are in. Let's just go ahead and say, okay. This one's a hard one. You'll have to give me a second because it's a complicated together. So
Answer, but I'm not sure if I did it right. I changed it to milligrams and then I divided by the 4 times per day and got 2,500. And then I divided by the 10 days and got 250.
yeah, that's not how you do it.
I got it right though.
50 milligrams per.
Hang on. So, okay, hang on. So there's how many milligrams in 30 milliliters? So 200x equals 300,000. So 200. So there is, okay, so there's 1,500 milligrams per 30 mLs, okay? So there's 1,500 milligrams in 30 mLs, okay? So how many? So 30x. So there's 50. So there's 50 milligrams per ml. Okay. So that was a long way. All right. You know that there are 6 teaspoons in 30 mLs. How many teaspoons in 1 ml? That's not right either. God, how did I do that one? So there's 50 milligrams in 1 milliliter, and there's 30 milliliters in 6 teaspoons.
Why do we need to know how many milliliters? Are we given 6 teaspoons?
So it's asking how many is in 1 teaspoon. So it would be you gotta give me a second. So there will be 250 milligrams in each teaspoon. Is that what's written on your paper? Is that on the answer sheet?
Yeah, it's the answer.
Okay. So basically, there's 30 mLs in 6 teaspoons, but there's 50 milligram in each milliliter. So I just did 30 milliliters times 50 divided by 6. So I went around the long way. That was a hard one.
I'm
I don't know
confused.
how to work it now.
You won't have one like that on your test, I promise.
So how did you end up getting it? You did,
So the concentration is 50 milligrams per milliliter.
yeah.
And I know that there's 30 milliliters. And so I did 30 times 50. And then I divided it by 6. Because there's 6 teaspoons and 30 milliliters. So that's how many milligrams that are in 1 teaspoon.
All right, cool, thanks.
Whoever had me work that, you're a jerk.
I'm sorry.
That was rough. I can't hear him.
Number 39, extra practice 2.
39.
Uh-huh.
39 extra practice 2.
Isn't
Is
that
that what you
right?
said, Mary?
Yeah, 39 extra practice 2, right? Yeah, that's correct.
So 2 grains. And what you have are 60 milligram tablets. So you have to convert it. You know that. You know that there's 1 grain.
That's not the problem you want. 39 on practice 2, what's it say?
39. Okay, sorry. Wrong. Sorry. Okay. So a client weighing 110 pounds is to receive a drug at the dosage of 2 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. How many grams of the drug will the client receive? So you start out by changing it to kilograms. So 110 divided by 2.2 is 50 kilograms. So you multiply 50 kilograms by 2.5, which gives you 125 milligrams. So that's 125 milligrams. But the question is asking you for grams, not milligrams. So milligrams to grams is 1, 2, 3. So the patient is going to get 0.125 grams. Did you do a drive-by? Bonnie, did you do a drive-by? Did you do a drive-by?
Uh-huh. The extra practice number 3, the one that's about 45 grains. Question number 1 on practice 3.
Question number 1.
On practice 3.
Okay.
Grains.
Okay. Your conversion factor is 360 grains are in 8 grams. So you have 45 grains and you want to know how many drams. That's so 360x 45 times 8 is 360. Isolate the x, and you have 1 gram.
But on this paper,
On the paper has what?
on the weight in solid form on the apothecary, it says 60 grains equals 1 gram. So is that not right?
Yes, but I don't ever use that. I just use the 1 grain is 60 milligrams.
So we don't even pay attention to that?
I wouldn't worry about it. Mm-mm. It's more exact. It's closer when you do it that way than it is the other way. And I'm all about being exact.
I'm saying that.
Anything else?
Is that it, girls? Y'all had enough?
Yeah.
Ask Sadie if she wants to ask something since she's zooming in. She's all by herself.
I'm good. I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Do y'all feel good about Monday? Listen, y'all have 2 chances.
We're gonna need both.
You got confidence. Have confidence. Just read your questions. That's the thing.
All right. If that's all, then,
Thank you.
and I will upload this for later.
All right.